Today I'm going to mess around with this snapper lawnmower. It's a self-propelled from the mid-80s. I believe it's an 87, I'm not sure. The engine I have removed, and I've removed the blade, of course. And I have the engine right here. I drained what oil was in it. And there wasn't much in it. I'll show you what came out of it. Come over here to this little coffee can. Right here is what I took out of that. Not much. And it's vaguely, I think it looks a little shiny maybe. That might just be the reflection though. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, but that's the oil that came out of it. That has a pulley on the bottom, because it's self-propelled, and you'll see this little belt right there. That belt hooks to the pulley on the crankshaft. So that pulley's got to come off, and it's pretty solidly on there. So I'm going to get the air hammer out, clean it up, and maybe heat that up, maybe quench it, and try to get that pulley off. I'll try just getting it off of there with the air hammer without quenching it, but I might have to do that, so we'll see. Yeah, this thing's pretty bad. I want to remove this engine is not froze. It just kind of turned. But it looks pretty darn bad. I just put the bolt in here kind of loosely. I don't see, this doesn't have no sort of set screw. Yeah, it does. Looks like we got ourselves a set screw right here, maybe. We should look into that. Let me grab something to look in there with and see what we got. Okay, it is a hex. And I just have this little hex bit which fits it, but I don't know. I'm not too confident about that. Not at all. Boy, it should come out. It backed out. I might as well take it out all the way. It was smoking. There she is. Cool. Alright, set screw came out. That's good. That's still not another one, is there? No. Okay, next we're going to have to try to hammer this out. Well, that don't sound good. Let's remove that spark plug. Spark plug. Don't look too bad. Okay. Now let's get that. I want that. That thing is stuck. This is stuck. That's okay. So I think what I want to do is get the air hammer out and try to hammer on this thing. See if I can't hammer that thing out. air hammer with this bit. This bit right here. And then put a socket on that. You can put a socket over this and hammer on that. Let me get the air out and all that good stuff. Okay. I had to go out and get this shallow socket set so that I could actually get on there like that. Here we go. Shot that socket across the room. It's right here, I got it. If it'll come off. Yeah, it doesn't have a keeper. It don't really keep on there. So let's try this, see what happens. Not really moving. Need to back it off a little bit. All right, this came, it's two pieces. This actually came loose. Whoa. This actually came loose, so that's good. That came off. Now, let me knock this key out of here. There it is. Key's out. Put it in my parts bin. Now, we're going to see if this thing will come off. I got the set screw out. So blasting it a little bit more. And hopefully this comes off because I don't want to damage this with a puller. Although I could grab right here because it's a pretty good chunk of metal, and I do not want to grab behind these ears because that'll wreck it. I'm going to see if I can. I'm just going to see if I can get this to come off with this thing here a little bit. See if I can get it to move. That baby ain't moving. All right, I'm going to quench it. I'm going to take it outside so that I can heat quench this. It might be rusted on. That'll help it. I don't care about the seal. The seal would be replaced anyway, so I'm going to heat it. I'm going to heat it up hell hot and then quench it. And then we'll try it again. All right, now I'd go with a wire wheel around this, clean that up a little bit, and then try to knock that off. Okay, wire wheel time. Now this is my first use of this drill since I had to go back to Harbor Freight and exchange it because the one that I had originally bought quit after about a month. So here we go, wire wheel. Clean up pretty good. I think I'll use some sandpaper on it. I think I'll just kind of do this a little bit too. See if this baby will move. There it is. Just like that. So now we have our engine to where we can actually take it apart. Okay. All right, engine disassembly. I just removed these 3 bolts that retain this, as well as I got one more. The dipstick. There we go. Get this thing off of here. It needs help. This thing needs help. Big time. I think it needs to be, I think the spring must be broken. I don't know. We'll deal with that another time. Yeah, let's just do that there like that. I want to remove the carb and air cleaner. There we go. I better remove this just so that I can see that linkage. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fuel tank. Some vintage dust, vintage dirt. Here's our link. I want to remove the link like so. And then if we can remove this, it'd be great. It's in this, the governor spring is in the hole here on this plate. And I want to kind of get that out without breaking it, would be nice. I think I'll need my needle nose pliers. Just kind of try to wrap it out of there. Perhaps. And the damn thing broke. I knew that was going to happen. This thing's ancient. It's a vintage spring, so we'll have to replace that. I am going to put the cleaner back on just to keep the carb covered up and set it aside. I'll have to order that governor spring. I'm going to set this out of the way. Over with the blower shroud. I didn't think it was that one. I'm not even sure it's this one. It is. There goes that little spacer for the the little spacer that goes to the fuel tank. Brake mech, just 2 bolts. Air vane and coil. Whatever. Okay, coil. There's your coil. Nice and filthy. And here's our kill wire. You got one going out to the throttle and the other going to the brake. It's just kind of routed underneath the breather tube and goes over there, and then this one just goes underneath the intake and over to there. So let's remove the intake tube. That gives us, we're going to have to remove the head, so let's do that next. That was loose. There's your head. Oil in the bore. I mean, it's better than rust in the bore. Know what I mean? All right, I want to get this washer off of here. That's your washer for the on top of the flywheel. All right, now this guy needs to get all right. I don't have anything really that I can put on there to, maybe a piece of wood. I'll just use this 3-jaw puller. That popped it off. Yeah, there's your flywheel. Set that over in the parts department. Key's in good shape. All right, next is removal of sump. There's another key in there. Let me get that key out of there. Here it is. There it is. Woodruff key. Okay? I think I'm going to have to clean this up some. Engine spins very freely, which is good. All right, let's try that. Let's try getting this sump off now. Two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sump bolt. Now we can remove this stuff. All right, looks good in here. Looks good. I do have to get this. This needs to go. So what I want to do is move this. I'll set that in the sump. I want to move to the timing mark, which is right here. Boy, look at that. And look at that. That is a nice cast. The good old days when they made stuff good. That's a metal solid piece. That is a heavy duty camshaft right there. I will take the exhaust valve out, or the exhaust lifter. This is a nice engine, and I'm just going to mark it EX with my permanent marker. EX, okay? This is going to be IN. There. There, I got my intake and exhaust labeled. And I will set them over here, parts department. Okay, we're going to have to undo the rod bolts. Let's pop that rod off. Oop. And very good condition. Very nice. Move it. Okay, piston's in pretty good shape, no stuck rings. There was oil in the bore, so I bet you these rings are wore. I'm just going to pop the connecting rod back on, or the cap. I just loosely put the end cap back on. So yeah. Put it over in the parts department. There is our piston, rod, cap. Set that right over there. We can remove our crank, and it is in very good shape, I think. Looks wonderful. We got ourselves a good motor to rebuild here. New set of rings and clean it up. It'll be beautiful. So there you go. Oh, I got to remove the valves. I got to remove this tube so that I can get this out of here without, or I could just remove this like that. Okay, here's this crap and the brake assembly. Put it over here. It's got some chocolate syrup in it, that's for sure. Yeah, it's full of chocolate syrup. The bore looks pretty good. The valves look good up there. The bore looks pretty good. I have to remove the valves. I want to remove this breather tube, and I want to remove this as well. This is the brake mount, this guy, and it's a little screw, little flathead Phillips screw. Grab my channel locks and just turn it out. Just threads out. Okay. And I do want to remove this, but that is underneath the valve cover. This mount. Come over here, the two screws, valve cover screws. Valve cover. Gasket's stuck on there pretty good. Now we can mess with the valves. And this exhaust valve has a, looks like a keeper. Oops. Alright, I got the intake off, but I don't have the proper tool to remove that. I actually need something that looks like this, but it's actually like a big vice clamp type thing to hold this down while it slides in there and depresses that, because this has keepers in it. And I can't get the keepers out with that. I need to fully depress that thing. So I'm going to have to buy the proper valve. I've wanted to get one of those things anyway. It just makes doing this easier. So yeah, it's almost completely apart, but yeah, a couple things. Okay, I have purchased the proper compressor, and it's just a big C-clamp almost that goes over here, and then it clamps down so that you can remove those keepers. So I did buy that. It was only 25 bucks. So I just bought that. It should be here tomorrow, and then we can finish disassembling. And here's the crank. I got sump, the flywheel, miscellaneous parts. I have, this is the bag of the box that I'm keeping the parts, and I've got just everything kind of plastic bagged off. I need more plastic bags. I need gallon size to fit the crank and the sump, and then I'm going to put all of these in together in something together. So that'll do. So yeah, then this engine will be disassembled. I'll be able to clean and all that good stuff. So all right. Well, I'll be back tomorrow when I get that valve spring compressor. All right, the whole engine is pretty much in this box other than the block and that exhaust valve and spring and keeper. Everything else is bagged nicely and all kind of put away. I did find that one screw that was going into that plate that was underneath it was underneath here. So I got all of them. Here's the engine block itself. Like I said, I'm just waiting on that. The head gasket's got to come off. But waiting on that, but it's nicely put away. I'll put it on the bottom shelf next to that stuff that goes to it. By the way, this is engine code. Oh boy. Engine code, where you at? Right here. $1985, December 19th, 1985. There you go. Okay. It's almost completely disassembled. It will be once I get that valve remover. So, yeah. All right. I'll finish this video tomorrow when I get that. All right, we're back, and I have received my valve stem tool. So, let's get you in closer. Maybe zoom it a little bit, maybe. Get this out of the bag. And let's try to well, that don't want to go in there, does it? Really? Maybe I need to loosen it up. Nope, that ain't gonna do it. I wish this was flatter. I might have to grind this flat. I really wish that was flat. It's not. What are we doing here? Boy, this may not work at all. This thing seems like it needs to be a lot longer. Interesting. This needs to be longer. Wow. Okay, let me come up with something. See if I can't come up with something on this. This thing is just too big, I guess. So let me, I might have to just put an extension on this to go onto this. A little dowel rod or something. I'll come up with something. Okay, so we'll try this. I've got these wooden dowel things, and I will try to use one of those as a basically, I don't know, it's probably too long. Maybe. I'll try it. Jam this in there again. I'm gonna grind that. I don't like that at all. But yeah. This will be interesting. See if I can hold this and that ain't gonna work. All right, let's see if this, I cut that block in half. We'll see what we can do here. I gotta grind this. I've got to grind this to where these will slide in and they don't have these. I'm gonna grind this right off of this. Let me go over, I'm gonna grind this right straight flat. Okay, yeah, I used my angle grinder, a grinding wheel, to flatten that out so that I can get it in here. And I will make it a little smaller. Oh, so much better. It actually slides on there now. Okay. Now the trick is crap. Oh, that had the pin in it. The pin just popped out. I didn't realize that had a pin. Okay, well, now I know it's got a pin in it. Had a pin in it. The pin's right here now. Jumped right out, landed right there. Yeah. So I can back this off now. This thing is a little bigger than I would like. But yeah, I didn't know that this had the kind of keeper that has a pin in there. I didn't realize that. There's your exhaust valve, and there's the hole for the pin. Yeah, pin's right here. There's your pin. And I don't know, I'll have to look and see, did that pin break? Do I need to get a new pin? Is that the right size of the pin? I don't know all that. But here is the spring and keeper. Yeah, that pin looks like it fits right down in that keeper. See? So I got lucky that that pin came out, hit me, and then landed right there. I thought it had the keepers in it. I was expecting it to have keepers because that's what it showed in my manual, was that it had keepers, that it didn't have the pin through it. I wasn't looking for that. So anyway, we got it out. I had to modify the tool that I bought. I had to just flatten that out, and it's too big for this really, but yeah, maybe I can use it for bigger engines as well. So I'll put this spring, pin, and keeper and valve in my in the exhaust baggie, and yeah, so that is a complete teardown of this Briggs motor. Yeah, the one surprise is the pin. The pin keeper. I did not know that there was going to be a pin keeper. Okay, I'm just going to take some of the dirty oil, the oil from there. Make sure you rub this cylinder good. Keep it oiled. Then I'm going to go ahead and put this back in the bag and put it over on the shelf. And eventually, when I'm kind of restoring that snapper mower, we'll rebuild this engine because it goes to that snapper mower. So there you go, engine teardown. See you all on the next video.